Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Real Show, our celebratory interviews. I'm very excited to be doing this series, just showcasing how people are growing and what they're creating and accomplishing during a pandemic. And I'm very excited to see my friend who I haven't seen in person in, I'm not going to say how many years because I really don't know. It's been a very long time. But I'm so excited because I've seen what she's been doing online and just really excited to hear more about her story and what she's doing during this season. So if you will, wherever you are, put your hands together for my guest today, Mia Deneen. Yay!
Hello.
I'm so excited that you're here with me today, and I'm looking forward to all that you have to share with me. Can you tell the folks a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, my name is Mia Deneen. I am a wife and mother of three, and I am an educator by trade. I came out of full-time teaching probably about 15 years ago to homeschool my children, my three children. One is in college this year, so that is exciting. Yeah, I know.
I
Um,
wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that.
yes. And I've been singing and writing music since I really, when I think about how I used to keep a journal and write poetry and things like that as a child, I really think that, God was preparing me way before I really actually called myself a singer and a songwriter. But it's really been in me for a long time. So that's basically it.
So let's get back to this. You have a kid in college.
Yes,
Tell me,
Johnny.
she graduated early, right? She graduated early.
Maybe a little bit early, but she's about
Okay.
18 this month, so she's about on target. Yep. So she's a freshman at Mercer University, and
Okay.
I know when you and I were sharing the same space, she was a little thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I remember when she was born, a baby. Like,
Yeah. Yes. So
oh
yeah.
my goodness. That is so
Yeah.
wild. That is so wild. But that's amazing. That you're homeschooling. Listen, kudos to you for that, because
Praise
I
God.
tried it. I mean, when the pandemic started and I had to homeschool Gavin, like I realized that was not my ministry. That's not my calling. There's a special anointing, I believe, on people for that.
Yes. It
Mm-mm.
is. Year is different after having doing this for so many years. Every year is different. The
Mm-hmm.
days are different. Some days it is definitely a labor of love. Um, but yeah, and it's definitely a calling. It's definitely a calling for sure.
Amen. God bless you. I don't know what to do. God bless you and your ministry. But all of the other things that you're accomplishing, singing and writing and all of these things, what are we celebrating this year? What have we accomplished? What are we celebrating in 2020?
Mm. I would say that we are celebrating, that I am celebrating life for one. I really think that all of these, all of the changes that have gone on in my personal life and also in the life of our country, even in the world globally, have really shown me how fragile life is. Even before the pandemic hit here in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
I was having dinner on Christmas Day with my family, and my aunt, out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere, passed away um, from a heart attack. And it just, it sent me kind of into this place where I was just like, life is so fragile. And, the moments that we have to spend with one another are so precious.
Right.
And, um, and so kind of moving forward in that space, God has really given me an opportunity to see, regardless of what is going on, had I had a lot of conversations with my daughter during the pandemic where she was trying to celebrate her senior year, but everything just, got canceled. And so basically, as all of the seniors, all of the 2020 seniors, had to go through a transition where, in many of our events, her, debate, her drama, all of the things that she was into. She was looking forward to having this big senior bash last hurrah, and just everything just got canceled. Nothing happened. And, I really think that it was that time was a time for both of us to just, assess and, just to understand what resilience looks like, just to understand purpose and plan. Like, God has a plan for this. He plans to use this. And, many times, we can look at situations, especially when we're looking at them head on, and we can't find our reasons to celebrate. But, what we had was each other. We had life. We had, she was still going to graduate. She was still going to go to college. There will be life after this pandemic, after these, hard moments. And so we're just learning how to celebrate life however it comes.
Absolutely. Listen, if this season has taught us nothing, it's taught us to really appreciate life and what we have versus what we think we need or we wish we had. Listen, we had to kind of go back to the basics. Like, I'm grateful because I moved into my house. I bought a house right before the pandemic started.
Oh, wow.
And it threw me for a loop a little bit because I was like, Jesus, you just allowed me to buy this. Now what am I gonna do? But then I remembered for the last year, I lived in a place that was not up to my standards.
Okay.
And so, like, I really fairly quickly changed my tune. Thank you for this roof over my head, because that last roof, I wouldn't have made it through the pandemic over there.
Okay.
So, just reassessing and reevaluating the things that are important to us, and being able to change our minds, and really kind of being forced to change what we think about where we are in life and how to celebrate the things, even the little things that we don't even think about, like life. I think we're more cognizant of it now because there's been so much tragedy and so much death that we are really like YOLO right now. You only live once, and we are really, taking it to heart, but not in the reckless way, in the way that we do things with intentionality and meaning, like having dinner together with your family and not just everybody doing whatever time. It's taking the time and being thankful for the little things that you
Absolutely.
didn't, take advantage of before. So I'm grateful that you're celebrating life and what God is doing in and through you. One of the questions I asked on the questionnaire, you said you currently have released 2 albums and you're working on your 3rd. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. You said, I'm still having a little trouble here. Are you talking about the hurdles?
No, your albums.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, let's talk about them. Well, I am working on my 3rd album. The first one was called Look Up, and that one released in, I want to say 2015. And then the second one was called No Days Off. That one released in 2018. And now this year, 2020, God is just, I really didn't see this coming, but I'll be releasing a new song on Thanksgiving Day. It's actually an arrangement of a Christmas carol. And I have an opportunity to partner with an amazing mission called Rebuild Haiti. And Rebuild Haiti is an organization, a small organization that is doing God's work for the people of Haiti, evangelism and meeting their real day-to-day needs. So Haiti is in a situation where not only are they dealing with COVID, but they are also dealing with Hurricane Laura.
Yeah.
And so they've kind of been hit double, triple with that. And already on top of that, they were having political unrest there as well. So the proceeds, all of 100% of the proceeds from this song that's going to come out on Thanksgiving, will go to do a fourth quarter food distribution for the people of Haiti so that they can, have food for Thanksgiving, for the holidays. And I'm super excited about it. It's something that God laid on my heart, the song, the mission, everything. So that is a celebration, that God is using me to help somebody. That's what, that's what it's about.
And that is awesome that you have partnered with them. You've been able to, and the proceeds are going to them. That really is an awesome thing. So you already said, you answered my next question. Did you see yourself doing this at the beginning of the year? And you said no. So in your process though, what have you learned about yourself?
Oh my goodness. Well, just so much. One is really that I always consider myself an introvert, and I am an introvert. But there is still something so special about community. And, with this pandemic, I was at first kind of like, hey, this is great. This is an introvert's dream, right? Being all alone. But I realized that, God created all of us, whether we're introverts, extroverts, or other. He created all of us to be able to thrive in community. It may not always be my preference to be, extroverted, but God has kind of put me in this position where he kind of stretches me and motivates me to do something different than what I would normally do. And I have realized that I think we are all better together. We are all better in community. And that's something that I really struggled with. I wasn't sure if that statement was always true. But I definitely see the benefit of it, the benefit in community. So I've learned that about myself through this pandemic.
And that is a great thing to recognize. I mean, I'm an introvert as well. People don't think I am, but I really am, like, people, And so, but I realized, because my kid is such an extrovert, I realized that we both need people in different ways, but we both needed it. And we've kind of developed it mostly online, but we've developed community because we both needed it in some aspect. So learning what that looks like, even for the introvert, is a great thing to learn, about yourself, and moving forward, once we're out of all of this, how you'll carry yourself in with people.
Right.
So I have one last question for you.
Sure.
What encouragement would you give someone who is experiencing 2020?
Wow. I definitely would say don't wait. Especially, if God has put a book idea on your heart, or a song, or, even a business, or even just, an idea, an invention, something, I really think that, this year has taught us that tomorrow's not promised. We, and, especially if God is putting something on your heart, that's going to be a process. I feel like, don't wait. Go ahead and start the process. I remember once I was in my room, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and I had this idea for some things that I wanted to do. And it was actually just like these short Bible studies. And, but at the time, I was, teaching children at a very small church, and I didn't have, a platform. And I was telling her, I have this idea that I want to do, but I don't have a platform. And she said, why don't you create a platform? And at that time, that platform was YouTube. And so I just ended up getting on YouTube, and I started this little YouTube channel called Thoughts from the Prayer Closet. And Thoughts from the Prayer Closet is still, is still going today. Now that I look back, there's dozens and dozens of just short Bible studies on YouTube that were just, things that would come to my mind as I was reading the Bible, or just praying, or just kind of meditating, things that would come to my mind. And I would just, talk about them. And really started in my real closet, because I would go there to hide from my kids so I could have some quiet time.
I know about that.
Yes. Yes. So I would tell anybody to just don't wait. Go ahead and put one foot in front of the other. That's all we can do. There may be opened and closed doors in the process. However, if we don't ever start, because it's not the right time, or we don't have the money, or whatever reasons that we give ourselves, then, we will have to answer to the Lord for that. The Lord, when he gives us a talent, he expects a return on it. Mm-hmm. So we got to get going. We got to get going. I believe that Jesus is coming back soon. And I believe that the ideas that he's put in believers' hearts, we need to go ahead and start the engine on that thing.
And that is good. That is, listen, I think that is kind of one of the things that we're seeing, especially in this pandemic, that people are starting to do stuff, all of the things, the excuses that they had before, that they were like, well, I don't have time, or I don't have this, or whatever, and everything shut down and slowed down. People are starting to realize, hey, I said I didn't have time. All this time is here now.
Right. Now I've got time. So now what is my excuse? Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah.
That's good.
And, that is a gift. That gift of time is something that God has given us to reflect, to get it right, to, to start whatever it is that we need to start. And really, I remember at the end of 2019, everybody was saying, 2020 is going to be the year of vision. 2020 is going to be the year of vision. Mm-hmm. And then, when 2020 came in, everybody was like, 2020 just sucks. But, right. But I really think it has been a year of vision. I really think it has been a year of transparency, opening our eyes to things that may be needed in our homes, our families, our churches, in our communities, in our world. And I think, now that we see and now that we know, we do have a responsibility, going forward.
That's good. That's good. And you're right. Like, I didn't even think about it. Like, it really is a year of vision. Like, we have seen all kinds of things this year.
Haven't we?
All kinds of things. So
yes, we have. Maybe some things that we would rather have ignored, but it needed to, the cover needed to be pulled back on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, thank you so much, Mia, for being
Yes, this has been so much fun.
It has been. Tell the people how we can find you online.
Absolutely. Basically, all my handles are Mia Deneen. If you go to Instagram, it's Mia Deneen. Twitter is Deneen Mia. And Facebook is Mia Overton Smith. I use my private page on Facebook. Also, my website is www.miadeneen.com. So you can contact me any of those ways. And you can, if you, by email as Mia Deneen Songs, SONGS, at Gmail.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, thanks again, Mia, for being with us. I so appreciate you sharing your story and sharing your celebrations with us. I look forward to uh, all of the things you're going to accomplish in the very near future with new songs and Bible studies and all of that jazz. I really am so excited for what God is doing in you and look forward to more with you.
Thank you. And it's been so good to see you in person again
Yes,
after
I
all these
know.
years.
After all these years.
Yes, but you look
Well,
good, girl.
oh, thank you too, girl.
Thank you, girl.
Well, thank you all for tuning in to our celebratory interview. You'll see Mia's links on the page. Make sure you check her out, follow her, uh, so you can find out when the song comes out and you can be part of it. You can support the efforts that she's part of, and make sure you like, click, subscribe, whatever platform you're watching or listening this interview, so you can find out what else and who else we're celebrating during this time. Thanks again for hanging out with us. And until next time, you guys have an amazing day. Bye.